Waffle time.
Hey guys, my name is MasterZidion.
The Duke.
I'm not just ya boy, I am the boy.
And we are underground. We just fucking mermaided a ton of shit down here, and it's time to leave. I don't think it is this way that I need to be going. It is not.
Got my fucking recording blanket and I'm ready for the night.
I hate you.
I bet you do.
I know we were just talking about envy.
Yeah.
This is less of envy and more of just like an anger at you for raising that on my priority list.
I'm good at raising things on your priority list.
You are, because you just like go out and buy shit and then like flaunt how great it is, and it's like, oh, that needs to go up higher. I was living okay, but now I know what I don't have.
See, that's why I like that.
Well, that didn't work out very well.
Yeah.
That's why I like that you're changing your eating habits, because I can make great shit and you won't eat it.
I mean, it depends. I still can.
You haven't.
Hold on, back up. You want to start bringing spite into this? That's a whole different element.
I can be spiteful.
Also, half the time you're like, man, get in there, get some of that shit.
All the time you're like that.
Yeah, that's why I go eat shit. It's because you're straight up just like, yeah, go get shit, go eat shit. Let's come on. I made shit. Go eat shit.
Well, I was the only one that ate burgers this week, man.
And?
I mean, I'm just kind of tired of burgers, but
The general assumption
I bought them for
when someone brings food into the house is that it's for that person. If you welcome it up to everybody to eat, you don't get to complain about it going missing sooner because you told everyone they could eat it. Therefore, it's going to be eaten. I hated my parents growing
Lincoln's
up.
fed up with this shit.
Just getting mad because like I ate the chips. I didn't eat them all in one sitting. It was over the course of like a week. But yeah, I had some chips every day, and then they were gone. Because that's what happens when you eat stuff.
I hated that shit growing up, man.
That's how it works.
This is why we can't have sweets or snacks. Yeah.
It's
you fucking catch up.
Because you eat them. That's.
If you wanted some, get some.
And I make a point of that now too, especially when I'm eating stuff that's not directly mine or I didn't put in there. Or something that I did get, but I like opened up to everybody, is I'll take like a little bit at a time, but I'll do so consistently. And if nobody else gets some, that's their own damn fault. It took me like a week to do this.
Let's fucking rant on growing up. Well, this kind of thing growing up. One of the things that fucking pissed me off was like I'd be watching a show and they'd be like, oh, you've had enough of that, turn it off. And like it probably wasn't even that fucking long, and they'd turn it off. I'd be obviously bothered because I was watching a fucking show and I didn't. DVRs were new. Well, not new, but, you know, new in the sense of everyone had them. You know? So I couldn't just fucking watch that shit, and then they'd be like, oh, you're addicted to that. No, I was enjoying it.
Yeah, you do it
And you took it away from me.
You do it one
I have every right to be upset with you.
You do it a couple times and people think you have a problem.
I have a story pertaining to Wind Waker about this, actually. I remember once my family thought it'd be funny to call me into the other room. Of course, I got up and went, just paused my game, and they shut my GameCube off. After this specifically, I had sat down and charted the entire sea in one go, and it was. I hate doing that every game because it takes so long and it's not very fun, but it's important to do. Yeah, no, I didn't save because I didn't think my game would get shut off. They thought it was hilarious, and then they got mad at me or called me obsessed because all of a sudden I was so upset because they turned my game off. Yeah, because you just got rid of like 2 hours at least worth of work. How fucking dare you? So we're going to fight the big man, but we can shoot the frog. So
By big man, do you mean Pigman and Ganon?
I do.
Ooh. Even though it's not Pigman and Ganon in this game. I just prefer that better. You know?
Well, that's Ganon versus Ganondorf. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Except for when Nintendo's like, you know, Ganondorf is kind of a long name.
Yeah. Ah, these arrows you've stabbed into my body have helped me control my power.
Heck of an arm you got there.
Wonder what else you can use it for.
What an eye. No one's ever been able to see me up there. The bright purple and red frog in the middle of the empty, translucent cyclone. You obviously have a mastery of the air, and now that we've established that you're quite the Wind Waker, because you didn't use it, but I assume that you have it. Let's see if you can handle this.
Boom.
I got the quick travel.
You can do the thing.
Even though, like across map it's good, but at this point, because I have the speed sail, it won't be even like that much quicker. Cackling frogs makes the day better. But yeah, we're going this way to go get in trouble with the big man. Let's do this.
I think another one specifically with games that was when I bought. Okay, so my first purchase that I earned 100% was a used copy of Pokemon Diamond back in 2010.
What a time.
Oh, it was so fucking great, and I don't know where my copy went. It makes me a bit sad. Someday I'll find it. Till then, I still don't know where Platinum is either, so, you know. Yeah, I'll just buy a new one or something. I don't know. But the point is, I didn't know how to overwrite save files. Right? Because it doesn't tell you how to do that, and you can't just do that. You have to put in the fucking code in order to overwrite your save file. And so I just left my fucking DS on all the time. Just closed it. Yeah, that was back when I was fucking just barely allowed to play any fucking video games, so I'd leave it in the fucking in the fucking living room. I did it 2 nights. Third night it was turned off, and it really upset me because I made it really far for not saving once.
I actually had a game, sort of situation it could not save, and I've never played it very far because it couldn't.
I
save.
know the story. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't my parents that did it this time though.
No,
it was a power
wasn't-
outage.
Yeah.
That shut it off, but like
Inevitability.
it was like 4 or 5 days worth of playing, and I got farther than I'd ever gotten before. I saw stuff I didn't even know, and the game is so much longer than I ever thought it was too, and it shut off. And I don't even think I've even tried to play that game since.
What was it?
Tonic Trouble. It's a game
Oh,
that
yeah.
nobody's heard of for the
That's
64.
why. Yeah.
But speaking of things growing up, actually, I have something that's, kind of thinking about the idea of a family going forward. I think it's very important to give your kids an allowance. I think the idea of having them work for money and having them be able to have their own money and just kind of learn what spending money is, kind of have a trial period of that. I think that's really important. What are your guys' takes on that?
I grew up under that,
I did not.
so that's just kind of how it was for me, I did work and I got paid.
I did work and I got yelled at.
I got paid for doing chores like twice.
You don't have that good of an arm.
Yeah, I know, but they can shoot me if I get closer.
Just gotta be fast.
Yeah, smack them first. They wiggle a little bit. But yeah, I remember. So I have to say, there was one thing that my parents did, and it was when we were doing a little bit better. My dad said, I forget how much money it was, but basically he said he would add so much money a month to what he was going to give me and my sister. And he was going to add that much every month. Or maybe he was going to he wasn't going to double it. That would have got crazy. But he was going to add that much every month. And he just wasn't going to stop until we spent it.
Ooh.
And once we spent it, then we could spend that money, and then we got the remainder of whatever left, whatever we had left. But then that was it. It stopped. And that was pretty interesting, because
That is really interesting because that's a fixed savings account that with limited withdrawals and high interest.
so what
So that's really interesting idea.
I spent mine on a guitar, and I got, I think I had $150 left over, and my sister never spent it. She never did. So eventually, my parents bought her a brand new computer and said, "There you go." because they knew, like, they did not understand the resolve that she apparently had. Oh, fuck you, shark.
Ooh.
And that's the last time my father made any sort of deal with us like that ever again.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, like, they talked about giving us allowance growing up, but, I mean, we weren't necessarily the wealthiest people in the world, so I kind of get why that wasn't really feasible. But I was absolutely motivated by it. I definitely would have willingly done more work around the house to do so, and I think it's a really good idea, because, like, you know, once I got to be an adult, once I started getting my own money and whatnot, like, hell, even now I'm not good with money. Like, I get my shit done. I pay my bills and all that kind of fun stuff, but I could very much so stand to be a lot more fiscally responsible. And I'm just kind of winging it. You know, I didn't really get any practice in at a younger age, and
Neither did I. I just spent my allowance when I got it.
that's...
But
yeah.
like, fucking when I was working at where you work now, and like going to college, you know, and fucking, I was basically living off of, I would get like $600 a month,
Mm-hmm.
and 430 alone would go to rent, and the like, yeah, I was living off basically fucking ramen, because I had $30, you know.
Gotta love that.
30 bucks, but
college
like,
student life.
well,
They call it the
see,
college
the
stack for
college
nothing.
student is relevant because I didn't have money to pull from, because I already had the money in savings for college for 2 terms,
Mm-hmm.
and so I paid for college on that. But like, I had nothing to go back on if I didn't have enough money to make it through. And so, I'm not necessarily fiscally responsible. I'm just really good at spending as much money as I can, as smart as I can.
That's one way that I am fiscally responsible, is I just make sure I don't have it. And the introduction of credit cards to my life has kind of destroyed that a little bit.
I
And
still don't have a credit card, and I'm not gonna get one. Like, the only one that interests me at all was like the fucking Amazon one, because I'm like, damn, if I
Get some
sign up
off.
for this card, I get $70 off, and that makes this a $70 purchase free. But then I looked at it, and it's like fucking 50% to 60% interest on
Yeah.
purchases. I'm like, hell, fucking no. I used to buy expensive shit off Amazon.
And like when I got mine, I used it to get some parts for my
Fucking
PC.
60% on like $1,000 or $100
It's
purchase is
it's a lot.
$160.
Yeah,
It's not gonna fucking happen.
it's ridiculous. But I used mine to get something, and I was gonna just not get anything else and pay it off. But then I changed jobs and fell on hard times, and I literally had to live off of those for a while. Like, I didn't have the money to be able to survive, and so that, whew, that was just a mix of bad situations there. But I don't know, Max, you have a daughter. What is your idea on this, especially like going forward, thinking that you're gonna have to like make a decision in this regard?
He also works like 10-hour fucking work days, 12, 10, long.
I'm still fucking broke.
Right
See,
now,
no car payment, I'd have an extra $250.
right now though, like, keep in mind, this is just, you know, she's still pretty young, and things are still pretty fresh right now. You know, things are gonna change over the next few years, and who knows what's gonna happen. So, just what's your take on this?
I haven't really thought about it. I think I'm more of a believer in like the school systems preparing you for life. Like, we've kind of had a conversation about high school. It just gets
Here's
you
the
ready for
issue,
college.
though. It doesn't get you ready for anything. The school systems will not help you be a successful person.
I would like to point out that the school system did have a class that helped me as far as getting jobs. I do have to give them credit there, because they are the reason why I'm
See,
so good at getting jobs.
But we can't all have that teacher, you know.
Well, she's the only teacher that taught that
There
class.
were 2
but-
teachers that taught that class, and the other option was horrible.
Oh.
I've had them both.
I don't know, because I liked the other one better than the one I got. The one I got hated me. And she hated me because I basically just kind of fucked off all the time in class, all the time, but still was like one of the highest grading students.
It's kind of coach.
Yeah, like, but we just can't expect everyone to have that kind of fucking school and classes.
Yeah.
It's just not necessarily the most plausible thing. And so I think, yeah,
Great.
theoretically you can learn some really neat things, but our schools are not designed to prepare you for adult life.
Well, and anymore, there's so many different narratives that are being taught as far as history goes, as far as the validity of various sciences and whatnot. I think there's a bigger role that parents have. As time goes on, it's going to get bigger and bigger. But to educate your kids, to be like, okay, what did you learn? Okay, let's make sure that you're actually, like, factually in the right direction, and it's not some new bullshit that's going off in a completely different direction. For a good example of this, actually was the way they taught about slavery in the South for a good long while. There was a lot of really misleading lines, and at first it was very much so like, oh, the slaves, they were happy, everything was good to start with, but as time went on and they tried to correct it, it still very much painted a very different picture. And that's not, obviously that was more of a Southern thing than what we would have up here, but there's still plenty of instances of that, where a lot of history is told from a different narrative, a different perspective, to try to downplay or upplay the severity of certain things or distract from other things. And I think it's very important for parents to make sure that their kids are learning what they need to learn. Like, you're getting the views on things that you're getting. And I don't know how to get in this door. Wait, I know how to get in this door. Okay, hold on. But especially when it comes to money, where the schools really literally do nothing. I don't know. I'd have to disagree with you on that one.
I don't know. Like,
Knock knock, bitch.
Like if I gave it to him, it was like, hey, we'll put this in your account, save it. Like growing up when I was little, I had a wiffle ball bat, and that was a piggy bank. I wasn't allowed to cash that in until after I was 18. I had like $150 in change.
I don't know.
Me and Morgan packed fucking like 35 pounds of change around town looking for a bank that would
help with that. That would suck.
In the summer. It was ridiculous.
That would suck.
But I think that would be a good starting point. Just getting something that she can add to for years.
I mean, yeah, that's never a bad idea. Anyway, hey, look at me.
No.
Hi, I'm here.
Nobody's home.
I don't know. When I think about doing it, I think about when they're like teenagers, and especially when they're really snarky. So like 13, 14, starting it then, and then giving them allowance for doing chores around the house. Maybe, if they do extra work with stuff, they can get some extra money within reason. But then stop buying them things that they want. Obviously you're going to get them clothes, but you're going to pick out what the clothes are. They don't get to pick. If they want to pick, then they can buy clothes, or they can chip in for clothes, or, something like that, where they start to understand that their money has to go to places where they actually care about things, not just on dumb fun.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in a room of extremists right now.
Like, you gotta teach them.
Well, yeah, you don't punish your kid by making them wear the worst shit ever.
No,
but if they want like an expensive jacket, they need to foot up the extra money versus the jacket you were going to get them.
You gotta teach them the value of money.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just it's not like in video games where you just collect it and fucking.
If they want McDonald's, cool, they can buy it.
The way I went through
stop.
things growing up personally, and like, I'll talk shit about it a lot. I talk about it a lot, but like, I think it was a pretty good way to do things. The way my allowance was like, I'd get clothes from like fucking my birthday or Christmas from extended family members, or I'd get clothes during back to school shopping, and that was it. And I could pick out my back to school clothes within reason. As long as it wasn't like fucking, Wu-Tang Clan, and
No
those shirts were still a thing I could fucking buy back when I was in elementary.
No satanic images.
Right, within reason. And I think that's a good way to do it. My allowance was me getting compensated for the work I did around the house, but it was just my money to spend as I saw fit.
Yeah.
Within reason, obviously, because I couldn't fucking drive,
Yeah.
And I think that was a good way to do it. I wish like I bought more old GBA games. Not gonna lie.
I get that.
But that's just a retrospective. I've become one of those people that really likes my retro games, and that's just I was a fucking dumb child, and I would buy like What did I spend my money on even? I don't know. I just. Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm not saying like they'd have to spend it on necessities, but if they want something, like it's going to be on things they want, but they're going to find that they're going to have to like, if they want to start picking out more stuff rather than just like, okay, yeah, that's fucking $30 more, I'll just get it for you. They're going to have to, you know, that counts as something they want. That's them spending their money, but they're going to need to understand that. I also think that it's important that they develop the idea of their labor being worth money, and that sort of sense of self-worth. I think economically right now, there's a lot of cases where people should be unionized where they're not, and a lot of us just have no basis for what our effort's worth, for what our value actually is, even in just like base amount of labor, because we're taught in the system that wants us to be as expendable and as low cost as possible. But I don't know, personally, I think it's a really important thing to instill in your kids that their efforts and their labor is definitely worth something. What? Just died.
You walked into the thing and died.
I guess. I didn't even touch him.
You ran right fucking into him.
No, I was.
I'm pretty sure you just ran right into him.
I don't think I did. But I don't know. That's just me. Obviously, I'm not going to go adopt something by myself. So there's going to be other input on this sort of talk. But just like me, as a 22-year-old dude that's looking back on my childhood and then looking at the kind of the world that we live in, that's just kind of what I draw from it personally.
I think trying to instill a good work ethic. Like, I was thinking about that work with. Like, I may be late, but I pull my weight.
See, that was my thing with why I got away with it back when I was working out there. I was late every fucking day. Everyone knew it.
But you did your job.
I showed up every single fucking day. I pulled my weight and then did other people's jobs on top of that. Look at you, documentation team. I did your fucking job. Because no one looks out for the agents out there.
Yeah. I don't know, and I like going on the work ethic thing. I think that's something that I struggled with. I know I struggled with work ethic. I don't necessarily anymore, but growing up, I was taught to work hard for no reason, and I didn't see any fruits of my labor for the most part. There's very few cases where I actually did see any sort of difference for what I was doing. And I think if you show kids that, like, if you work hard, you get those returns.
If you hard, then you hard.
Yeah. I wasn't really shown that for the most part. I was just shown that I have to work hard because I'm told I have to work hard, and therefore I really resent having to work hard.
You just gonna say yeah to that?
You're not. You're agreeing with my point, just in an awful way. Like,
fair enough.
Support, man.
It's just trying to be Kaiba.
Why can I not? What is wrong with? Okay, you just didn't want the ladder.
I think we should have some waffles.
Can they be mother waffles? Soaked in Moblin blood or Cocoa Blend blood?
Dude, you doing all right? You need to talk to someone?
Maybe.